A baby glowing creature. The scene opens with a close-up of the protagonist's feet walking down a forest path. His footsteps are rhythmic and nonchalant. He stops as he's interrupted by the sound of his stomach growling. He reaches up to put his hand over his grumbling stomach. In the background, something fumbles in the bushes. The camera pans to reveal a baby glowing creature move out onto the path. It approaches the protagonist, but the protagonist ignores it and pulls out his sword and continues walking. The baby creature runs out of the path and out of his way. The protagonist continues and looks up at a cave known to hold a ferocious, selfish beast that is known for stealing and hoarding all the resources in the forest. The baby creature, suddenly back, wants to go in regardless, but the protagonist picks it up by the scruff of its neck and throws it into the bushes. The protagonist holds tightly onto his weapon, assessing the dangers of going in. He stops and pauses. The cave is dark, but it's dimly lit by the sunlight peeking through. Inside, he sees a large beast protecting a pile of food behind it. He begins to drool out of hunger. The protagonist sneaks towards the food and places a piece into his satchel. Suddenly, a pair of red eyes flicker open. The beast has awoken, and the protagonist runs out of the cave in a hurry with a single piece of food. Cut to the protagonist sitting in front of the campfire with his food. Something rustles in the bushes in front of him, and he bolts up, quickly drawing his weapon. The baby glowing creature pops out of the bushes, and it's extremely hungry. Its stomach begins to growl. Our protagonist lets out a sigh of relief and sits back down. Out of pity, the protagonist shares the food with the baby glowing creature. He puts some down at its feet. It stares at it intently, then runs up and quickly scarfs down the food. And so they sit there, the baby glowing creature devouring the food, and the protagonist holding his growling stomach, staring intently into the fire. The camera pans to the night sky and reveals the cave once again. This time, the interior of the cave is bright as day due to a fire burning in the corner, and the cave is eerily empty. Cut to the protagonist hiding in a bush facing directly towards the cave. Behind the bushes, the baby glowing creature bounces around, eager to help. And this time, the protagonist snatches up the baby creature and places it firmly into his satchel, mostly out of annoyance. And the protagonist slowly begins making his way towards the empty cave. As he's about to take a piece of food, a shadow slowly blocks out the moonlight behind him, and he turns around. And there he sees a pair of red glowing eyes. The protagonist looks frail in comparison to the large beast. He gets ready to fight and reaches for his weapon. But something flickers behind him, jumps down and bites into the leg of the beast, taking out a big chunk. The beast runs away, howling in pain. The protagonist says nothing, but grins as if to say thank you. And so, the baby glowing creature and the protagonist enjoy their meal together in the warmly lit cave. The scene fades to black. The end.